got a couple of people here with me today. I've got Dale and Daryn. So Dale's the owner of one very special Landcruiser 79 series we've got right here behind us, and just got Dale out here on this beautiful cold Toowoomba morning to actually just have a bit of a vehicle rundown and get his perspective and feedback on his build and why he chose a few things. So welcome along, Dale. Daryn, good to see you.
Yeah, good. Thanks for turning on the weather for us.
No worries. Look, yeah, obviously this one's a pretty in-depth job, and probably what I did want to pick your brains on and get your feedback on was you've chosen the 79 series dual cab, mate, for a start. Yep. What was your thinking there?
Well, because it's the one you can do the most with. When I looked at a lot of vehicles, I did look at the 200 series, getting it cut down and doing all that, but I thought this one's a little bit more agricultural, which means you can do a bit more with it. So that's why I went this way, and yeah, it unfolded where I did just about everything with it.
Yeah, excellent. That's and all this process started, obviously you were working away from home in Singapore, and you were doing your research there. And that's quite extraordinary, Dale. So the beauty of the internet these days and the array of four-wheel drive products we can get. So yeah, tell me about how it all began and what you started. So obviously you started with the car. Yep. What was the next thing on your list?
Well, it was about what we're going to use it for. So we wanted something that was a tourer. So I got 3 girls. So I said to them I want to take them camping. We spent 8 years in Singapore and the opportunity to see Australia this time. And so I said, well, I want something we can get around in, go wherever we want to go. And so we started off with the 79 series, and I thought at first it was not going to be a chassis extension, wasn't going to be a GVM upgrade, wasn't going to be any of that. But once I started doing the research, I thought, hang on, there's a lot more I can do with this. And then when I called Dan at your place and started talking with him and picking his brains, you go, what about this? And if you thought of that, this is a good idea too. And that just evolved. And so I did all that research, from Singapore online. And it meant that I suppose being away in Singapore, you would read a lot more and you learn a lot more about the products, why people have built them the way they did and what didn't work, so then I can apply it here.
So obviously watched a few videos and what other people have done, and yeah, so very helpful, that video aspect. Good for people that haven't done a major build before, and you see what products are out there too. So Dale, the lighting system's quite exceptional on yours and elaborate too, so that was something you spoke to Dan about, that you were going to do yourself at home after we'd finished doing our bit? Yeah,
I wanted to feel as though I could contribute something. I've done a bit of wiring in the past and I thought I could do it, but I went ahead and bought the lights and had everything ready, but after I came into the workshop and chatted with Fatty here, I thought this guy's actually got a far better plan than I have, and doing it all at once, doing it right from the start was definitely the way to go. So unfortunately for him in a way, he ended up with a whole lot. But I'm so happy that I did that, because the way he's done it it's worked out really well.
Yeah, it's actually, there was a lot of work in it, and I'd sort of watched the progress on this one and watched you sort of lay it all out, Daryn. There was a fair bit of planning went into this one, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a fair bit of planning go into it, but it was really good because Dale had drawings and all that sort of thing done up for us as well on how he wanted the platform and everything laid out. And it was good, we just went back and forwards with a few different ideas, a few different designs. Big thing was working out where all the switches were going, all in the one central location was good for us. So yeah, we just worked together, planned it all out, and then went from there.
So a major, like a real key point about that, if someone else was doing similar sort of work, was take your time, lay it out, put it on paper, have a picture of the end result you're looking for, and then work it back from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to plan big wiring circuits like this, otherwise you get into trouble halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's actually really quite good. So yeah, looking forward to seeing it at night time actually and seeing what it can do. Dale, the 4495 chassis extension works out really well. Yeah. I do notice though, you went with the 2-inch option. What was your reasoning there, mate? A lot of blokes go the 4-inch or the 3-inch. You've gone the 2.
Yeah, the main reason around it is what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it for touring. I don't want to go rock climbing, that's not what this is about. And it's about that comfort. I didn't want to go too high because I'm going to put a boat on top, and I didn't want it to be rocking and rolling too much. Because I went for the manually adjustable Alpha shocks from JMACX. They're amazing. They're so comfortable. When I first got in, I felt like I was sitting in a car, not in a Landcruiser. It felt like a car, so soft, and you can adjust them up, and I've wound them up so they're a bit firmer now, so it feels a little bit more like a four-wheel drive. But super impressive, and you'd think with a 4495, the rear springs would be stiff and hard, and I've had upgrades before and that's how it does feel. they've done an excellent job with this. I'm really impressed with how this suspension rides. It's just so comfortable. And so because it's not too high, it means for the boss, given the fact that she actually, the Minister for War and Finance, she's the one that's funded it, and given me the ability to do what I want.
Cut that bit out.
She said I don't want to have to be trying to leap up into a truck, and that's why I went the power board. So come down, only a 2-inch lift, it's easy to get in and out, and she's actually commented how good that's been. So that's why I didn't go crazy on the lift.
Dale, I was going to ask you what your partner thought. Is she happy with how it drives? Has she actually had a drive yet?
She hasn't driven it, but she's been in it. We've gone for a few drives in it already. She's really happy with it. The kids love it. They love it because they feel like they're up high, and after being in Singapore in your little cars and you're down on the ground, they like this idea of being up and seeing things. And Madeline, who picked the colour, the blue colour, she's really impressed. She said, I love being in your truck, Dad. I just want to be in it all the time. So, no, the family are really happy with it, really happy.
Well, we think Madeline's made a great choice on the colour, and if you can get the approval of the boss, you're home and hose, mate. Well done. Dale, we supplied the Curt hitch for when you're towing. You know, I'm a fan of them, but I'd like a bit of a customer feedback to give me your thoughts so far on how you feel it works.
Well, I had already bought another tow hitch that I could raise up and down, but it was a little bit harder to actually raise up and down and adjust them. I saw this on one of your customers' vehicles when I was in having a look. I said to Dan, tell me a bit more about these. And he was telling me about how it absorbs that shock load with the rubber behind it. And I thought, it can't be too much. And you try to press on it, it's really hard. But I was towing about probably 2.5 tonne, give this a go the other day, and you wouldn't even know you had something behind it because any of that sort of shock load just disappears. Absolute fan now.
Yeah, make the towing a lot more comfortable. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Great job. And I see, just quickly while we're standing here at the back, Daryn, you've dealt with the red winch a little bit here also. You've got a red winch front and rear. Very well made, high quality product. Tell me why you fitted a red winch, because there's a lot of winches out there. Yeah,
well, that was it. So there was probably 3 main features. One was it's racing proven. So I'm about quality, and Daryn know this, I'd rather go over than under. So I want to make sure it works. It's about reliability. A lot of what's been done is reliability based. 2, I like the air brake on it. So you don't have to rewind the winch to get it out. You just press the air brake and you can just pull it out. And I wanted more than 12,000 pound on the front. So the front's a 16 and this is a 13.5. And the reason why I went that is because I thought, well, if I've got 4.5 here and a couple of tonne on the back and I'm silly enough to get stuck, I want to be able to get out. So that's why I went for that.
Excellent. Should always get out of trouble with one of them.
You should do.
Yeah. So I introduced Daryn earlier as Daryn, but he's known around the place as Fatty. As you can see, that name stuck with him as a kid from his family. So it wasn't anyone of our team that did call him that. But Fatty, this car, you spent a lot of workshop hours on it and lovingly assembled it. Tell me about the few special things that you like about it.
So there's a lot of big things about this car, but there's some of the smaller things that I think really top it off. And one of them is in the toolboxes under the tray. We went ahead and he wanted to put some interior lights in there, and we've actually designed it so it works off the door, like an actual door switch in the car. So we pop them doors down, lights on, doors back up, lights off. Nice thing, nighttime camping, that sort of stuff. It's a small feature, but it's something that would really come in handy.
Norweld Canopy, Dale. That was your choice of supplier. There's some really good quality stuff out there. These guys are excellent. Tell me why Norweld?
Again, that's what it was quality. They built a trailer for a mate of mine many, many years ago, before they were right into the canopies, and it's still going. And I thought, well, the way Bucky drives things and treats them, if it's still going, it's got to be pretty good. So that's why I looked at them. And I went for them because of the quality and also their thinking. There's a lot of little things that they do that I go, oh, that's really clever. I like that. So that's why I went for those guys.
Yeah, they're very well built. So Dale, a lot of people when they're doing a cruiser mod and a build-up, they feel that they're quite underpowered from the factory, which I probably tend to agree. You've chosen to do a few upgrades. Tell us about what you chose and why.
Well, again, it's all about what it's set up for, Mick. It's for touring. So I said to the guys that did the work at Just Auto, I said, look, I want it for 2,000 revs, maximum torque, and as close as possible for the horsepower. And that's what it is. It's 700 newtons at the wheels, that's 2,000 revs. So now you can sit in 5th gear and drive up and down hills and don't stress. And really all they did was change the air intake to get enough air in there, change the internals of the turbo, and then with the torque exhaust that comes with the JMACX kit, it just sucks it through, and it's so much better. Yeah.
So you've gone the bigger wheel in the turbo just to keep that PSI at the right level.
Yep. And then by having the variable vanes, they tell me that it brings back that torque back down the rev range, and that makes all the difference. And that's basically it. I don't know why they're not done from the start, from factory, but you're right, they're a little bit gutless in the lower rev range of these cars, and that's all they did, is bring it all back. It's not about being the biggest horsepower, it's about actually what it's for, is touring.
Usable power, and when you're sitting in fifth, travelling 100, you do need overtaking, put your foot down and smoothly move off, Oh, that's excellent. Some neat work under there.
Yeah, there's no room left.
So Fat, some other features that you've built into the car, working with Dale and Dan, you got obviously in-cab control there on board, and tell me about the winches as well. You've done some work there.
Yeah, so with the red winches, as Dale said, they got those air brakes on them, so the free spool is all switched inside the cab as well, so you can hit a button inside the cab, free spools pulls it out, but it's also winching in, winching out from inside the cab as well. So if you've got to winch your car plus steer it, you're on your own. It's easy to do right from sitting at your steering wheel. And yeah, air on board system as well, all internal on the same switching panels, up, down, all that sort of thing. So all incorporated together in that one central location in your centre console.
And that's working well for you so far, Dale? You happy with that?
Well, luckily I haven't had to use the winch yet, but yeah, it's all within reach. That's what it was all about. Talking with Daryn was about, well, if I'm going to use this, I want to be able to reach it. I don't want it somewhere remote. So we set it up nicely at the top of the centre console. It's a nice little sweet spot there for him.
So once again, the planning process was quite in depth, and you two got together and did plan a fair bit. And that did pay dividends in the end.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Has avoided reworks as such as to, oh, I don't like this here and I don't like that there. So in your opinion, Dale, one of the key things to a tourer build up, if anyone's doing one, is to take your time and work your way through the outcomes that you're looking for at the start.
Yeah, and have a chat to people to test your ideas. So there were some ideas I had, and Daryn and Dan said, have you thought of this? Little things like, even like you can't see it now, but bonnet lights, these are amazing at night. And little things like, Daryn said, well, we'll put a kill switch on the bonnet, so even if you've got the switch on, you shut the bonnet, it goes off, you're not driving around with them left on. Little things like that, you go, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So you exchange with somebody who's done it, and no, this is the guy I'd come back to, because he's a geek, he loves his stuff.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to Dale and Daryn and myself talk about this cracker of a rig behind us. I'm super impressed with it and really pleased with how it worked out for Dale. So tell me about, mate, intended trips coming up in the next 6 months. Where can people find you and pull you up for a yarn if they need to?
Yeah, well, I'm planning a trip up the Gulf somewhere. Where exactly is yet to be worked out, but for September. The plan was to take this anywhere across the top of Australia, because after 8 years in Singapore, 3 girls have never seen Australia. They've seen lots of other cities, which is great, but I want them to see Australia. I want to take them across to the Kimberley, take them up Kakadu, up into the Gulf, but even down South Australia in the Bight. That's what this is all about. So yeah, look, if anyone wants to pick my brains, happy to share with what I learnt, because I did learn a lot going through this, from both you guys, from the internet, and just from challenging my own thoughts at times. So yeah, happy for anyone to pull up and have a yarn.
Good on you, Dale. Well, thanks very much for your business, Daryn. Wonderful job done on there, and thank you to Dan also on his input and his great advice. Dale, I hope you enjoy and look forward to seeing you out there.
Very good.
Good on you, mate.
I'll see you somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, sounds good.